Yeah, it's your boy Danny J. Quick, and I'm here with Kyron Silva. And we want to thank you for joining the Four Tales podcast.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
We're about to talk some comics and get a little bit controversial. Everything from indie books to movie deal level commercial. With no rehearsals when we converse to coerce you. And then we do the quick takes and try to get to the personal. So join us and get your comic book a few more sales once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales. Once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions respectfully brings to you the 164th episode of the Four Tales podcast. I am your host, Kyron Silva from Taurus Comics. Across the way is the lavender lyricist of Ace Blade, Danger Quick. Together, we are your two award-winning blurred comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live on the AIDS to Geekdom Network via Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, but not TikTok because Restream and TikTok does not want to work together again for some reason. So if you're listening, we're on Danny's TikTok. You know, I'll just hop onto my TikTok if that's what we're doing. But no, that's too much work now. If you're listening or watching this live, thank you for your support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share our podcasts because all your positive reviews, interactions help us reach a bigger audience. What's up, man?
At least I think I'm on TikTok. I can't. Now I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even know if we're even live, dude, because I'm looking online and I don't see us live anywhere.
I see the live button has been pressed, so I think we're in there.
I guess. I don't know.
You never know with these new technologies, bro. Well, at least we got Mr. Fish Comics is in the chat. I'm proud of that too. The Sawed Off Salesman of Saw. That is a good one.
That's horrible.
No, that's great.
That's horrible.
That's great. If I ever have to do the intro, I'm using that. The Sawed Off Salesman of Saw. I like it.
You can do the intro next week if you want.
No, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to do that at all.
Fish, where are you seeing this at? Because I can't find us live anywhere, and I'm a little worried now.
Well, it says it's live on YouTube. All right, let's get these technical difficulties out of the way before we introduce our guests.
I can't. Sure. The only way I can. It says we're paired. It says they should be communicating. It says it's streaming to Ages of Geekdom.
Yeah.
It says it's streaming to Four Tales, Taurus Comics, Fourth Wall Productions.
That's what it says, but I don't.
But it does not show it actually showing up.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, this is horrible. And somehow it says it's streaming to my Facebook. Out of everything. I don't know. Technology is. This is wild. Fish, where are you watching this?
Yeah, I'm live on TikTok also. Shout out to Lucky2FRR. So I'm live on TikTok, and we are live on your Facebook, I guess. So
yeah. Somehow, I mean, Fish says he's live on YouTube, but
on YouTube somewhere.
Wow, this is wild. Man. I don't even know what to do. I don't know.
Let's roll it, and then if we gotta replay it, if we gotta why is Kyron is that girl? Okay, if we gotta upload it to YouTube later, then we'll do that. Because we got an awesome guest, man. We got an awesome guest today.
You are very professional. Look at you trying to get us back into the groove and doing what we're supposed to be doing. I appreciate that.
It's my only job here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We have an amazing guest today. Mm-hmm. A creator that I've been following for a long time. Mm-hmm. I don't even do horror, and I read his comics because they're so well done. 2-time Glyph Award winner, 1-time Ringo Award winner, which is dope. The CEO of Dream Fury Comics. He is a comic book writer and an IT consultant. You can't leave that out. With the ambition to create exciting horror and sci-fi with strong black leads, and that's important. He's done Crescent City Monsters and Keisha the Demon Eater, right? Welcome to the show, Newton Lilavois. It's good to see you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Thanks for having me on. I can't believe it's taken this long for me to get on this show. But yeah,
Man,
I'm glad to be here, man.
That's all Danny's fault. That is all Danny's fault. I wanted you on the show before, and Danny's like, "Nah, don't bring him on."
I literally don't schedule people. That's not true. Don't even start that mess, because I would talk to Newton anytime, anywhere. So, no, we're happy to have you on, man. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Yeah, appreciate it. You know, we, like you said, we go way back, like years.
Yeah. This is one of those also, like I don't know if you saw, but I actually met Kyron in person for the first time during the Heroes Con. I feel like I have we met in person? I feel like I met you at like at Blurred.
I was just wondering.
I feel like I've met you in person, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel like I've met you in person too.
I don't know, man. I'm really not sure. That's weird, because
You've been to BlurredCon?
Yes, I've been to BlurredCon, and I think I met you at BlurredCon because that was the first place I met Greg Anderson and Lisa, and I think you were there that year.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but for anybody who might not have seen your comics before or know who you are, give us a quick introduction and tell us what you're here to talk about today.
Yeah. So, as you mentioned, my name is Newton Lilavois. I'm an independent comic book publisher, and I publish under Dream Fury Comics. So right now I have 2 solo titles and then one co-creator title. So we could start off with Crescent City Monsters. That's the OG, my OG book, my first book, with artist Giancarlo Bernal. So if you're a fan of Sinners, Blade, it's like a mashup of that. Pretty cool. Follow Jonas. He's a sorcerer deep-seated in that New Orleans world, and someone in that world puts a bounty on his head. He doesn't know who or why, and he's trying to figure that out. So while he tries to unravel that mystery, the monsters of New Orleans are after him because of that bounty. And so my second book, Keisha Demon Eater, the title kind of really explains a lot of it. But it follows Keisha. She gets accidentally possessed by a demon, so her family sends her to an aunt who knows how to exorcise demons. But when she gets to aunt's town, she's going to see that's full of monsters, and she actually needs a demon inside of her to survive. So the very thing that she's trying to get rid of is the thing that's going to help her survive. And then my third book is Shattered Visions.
Shattered Visions.
Shattered Visions. Co-created with TJ Sterling. Shout out to my co-creators, TJ Sterling.
The Voice.
So it follows. What's that?
The Voice. TJ. I call him The Voice. TJ.
Oh, you call him The Voice?
I had him on my TikTok. I had him on my TikTok a couple of times live, and people were enamored with his voice. So
okay. Yeah, he's got another nickname too, but I guess I won't go into that because he might get a little up.
What?
No, I think they call him Face. I think there's another nickname, Face. Like, you know,
the voice and the face.
Yeah. So we created a book called Shattered Visions. It's a sci-fi cyberpunk book. Follows Shatter. He's the world's most wanted man, and he's out to destroy a corrupt system by any means necessary. So, you know, if you're a fan of Fifth Element, you'll really dig the story.
Yeah, now that you say that, I can see some of the Fifth Element in there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I like that. So, a question that we ask a lot of creators, first time we have them on here, what is it that drew you to making comics? A lot of us grew up reading comics and wanting to draw and things like that. What is it that made you make the leap into making comics, though?
So the question is, what drew me into comics? No pun intended.
Yeah. I didn't even do that.
Yeah. So I started collecting or reading comics seriously when I was I was in the 5th grade, so I was like 11 years old. Mm-hmm. And I loved it so much that me and my brothers loved it so much that we used to actually sit down and draw comic books. I'd like draw comic books and then sell them to classmates. And, you know, I loved, at that time, I really loved drawing. And then I learned later that I'm not really an artist. My brothers, like, when we used to draw, like, we were about at the same level when we started doing comic books. But, I saw them, like, really progressing really nicely. And myself, I was like, I just kept staying the same skill wise. So I kind of like got a little disappointed about that, and realized, like, maybe my strength is writing. So I started writing mostly. And but then at the same time, you mentioned earlier, I was an IT consultant, and I that's what I kind of like gravitated to, because at that time there was no like roadmap to get into comics. I didn't even really think of it really as an option. But in the background, while I was studying computer stuff, I'd always like write stories or think of stories in my head. And then it wasn't until like maybe 8 years ago, I really wanted to do a web series. So I was like writing out a script to create a web series, because at that time I was like, man, people are really gonna start watching shows on YouTube. So I was like, let me get on this, and because I was still like a storyteller. But then the production of like doing a web series was a lot of time and money. Not that comic book isn't. I find out that's probably the same, probably the same thing. But so I started doing that, but then it was taking a lot of time and resource, and my kids were young at that time. So I decided to pivot and go into comics, because I was a real big Kickstarter person, and I noticed they had a Kickstarter section, and I was like, oh, okay. And I looked at it and I was like, wow, okay, these people are just like me. They're this is like a lot of them. It wasn't a full-time thing. It was like they were doing it on the side, and so I was like, okay, I can do this too. So I did some research. There was like PDF by Spike Troutman from
Iron
Iron Circus Comics. And it did a real breakdown. It was like it showed you like what you should take into consideration while you're calculating stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, damn, she basically gave the blueprint for this, and it was specifically for comics. And so I was like, okay, now that I got this, I started doing more research. I was listening to comic book podcasts, and then I was like, okay, let me start off with Crescent City Monsters, and then that's how I met Gian. I had a couple of other artists that I worked with before Gian.
Man, shout out to Gian, bro. Gian,
yeah, I really lucked out when I found him. And the funny thing is, I had backed a couple of the books that he had drew on Kickstarter, and I didn't realize, I wasn't really paying attention to who the artist was in the books, and it wasn't until I saw his portfolio on DeviantArt, I saw the pages from the comic books that I had backed. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, so he Kickstarter, he knows like their deadlines, and so he knows how this thing works, and that hopefully it's not going to be a situation where like he bails out on me in the middle of the project. So but yeah, it turned out that it was great. Gian is like, not only is he like an excellent artist, but he's very professional. He's very professional, and he's he originally, before he started full-time comic books, he was a graphic designer. So his graphic design skill is on par. Like, he designs my books. Like, he actually designs a lot, like the layouts and whatnot. So I gotta give Gian so much props, because at one point I was looking, I was like, okay, I could have Gian draw the book, and he could also design the book for me, right? And then because I didn't want to design it myself. I wanted, because I'm not a really great designer. I wanted that really professional look, and so then I needed the letterer, right? So I was looking for a letterer, and Gian was like, you know what? In the meantime, I could just put a placeholder until the letters come. I was like, oh yeah, cool. When dude came back with the lettering, I was like, yo, I don't need to look for lettering. I was like, you can letter too. I was like, oh man, this guy can do everything. I was like, so he did the artwork.
He's officially, man. Mr. Fish Comics in there. He hits all the stations too, man.
Man, just next time you know, he's be like, I got my own book. I just did everything myself. I wrote it. I drew it. Like, I don't need nobody.
Yeah, he's I mean, he's incredible. Man, I'm so lucky I found this guy. So and then as time went on, I realized like he was even a better artist than I expected because when I looked at his DVR page, the artwork was dope. I was like, man, this guy's really good. But when he sent, now I'm not saying I'm a little, might be a little biased, but when he sent me the artwork for Crescent City Monsters, I was like, damn, this is better than
Man,
anything I seen what he did on DeviantArt. I was
it's
like, this thing
crazy,
is
man. It's
fire. I was like,
did he do the art for Keisha also?
yeah, he did the art for
Yeah.
Keisha. So it's funny because with Keisha, I'm not sure if people know this, but I gave Gene like a few things to make it look visually different. Maybe I'm the only one who noticed, but so like with if you look at if you compare Crescent City Monsters and Keisha, like I told Gene like okay, the characters themselves don't put a lot of details because Gene loves to put details into his into everything, characters, background. So I
Yeah.
said make the characters a
A little
lot
more
simpler than
cartoony.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
in Keisha,
Yeah,
yeah.
just just cleaner lines. And then you can do whatever with the backgrounds and the monsters. And I said, make the images kind of like softer. So like when he was doing the grayscale that he's known for, if you act like look at the books together, you'll see like Crescent City's a little bit sharper and thing, but Keisha Demon Eater, the grayscale version is a lot softer.
Hmm.
So if you got both books, you should definitely do comparison because it's definitely like I did that on purpose because I wanted to give it a different feel.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I definitely noticed that, man. I think, and that was why I asked if he was the one who did it because I couldn't remember. But I know that Keisha has a little different style, um,
yeah,
and even on the cover, like she kind of stands out from the background, because she's got more of it's still amazing art, but just a little less detail, than the normal art that I see from him.
yeah.
I'm gonna get Gian to do me an Ace Blade cover, man. I'm reach out to him and see if I can
Yeah,
get on to Ace Blade for him.
I noticed you've been getting the big artists to do a lot of covers for you. You got who's one? Larry
Larry
Stone, right?
Stroman. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You
and
got Sean
that
Hill to do one.
Sean Hill. Oh,
I got Mr.
that's
Stroman's on my
did,
wall right here. So yeah,
You got
yeah.
Neil Adams to do one, didn't you?
yeah. We got Neil Adams, and Neil Adams did our first variant cover way back in 2012, 2013.
Wow.
That's why I thought making comics was gonna be easy. It was because the first like we went to a legend and be like, hey man, we're starting this comic book,
Yeah,
can you draw it for us? He did a commission. It was like $500 at the time or whatever. Um, and I was like, man, this is gonna be great, man. We're gonna kill this comic book thing. And then we're just like 10 years later, still trying to figure it out.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, what about do you have a Kanan cover, right?
Yeah, you
Um,
do. Kanan White
Yep,
yeah,
he did
yeah.
the cover for the graphic novel, man. Yeah, Kanan. I mean,
and
that's one of my
Ballad of the Black Rose too.
yeah. But that's one of my favorite things is getting different artists to even Sanford Green did a Ace Blade piece. He did a traditional one
Yeah.
at a show. He
You
did a
see
show.
how he keeps dropping names like it's his, like we're interviewing him.
No, no,
He's
no.
like,
I'm just
and
saying.
I got a secret McFarlane cover
I
that I haven't
know,
revealed yet.
seriously.
Hey, it wouldn't be secret. It wouldn't be secret if I had it. I promise. No, but that's one of my favorite things, man. Getting art from different artists and just seeing what they would do with Ace Blade. But when you got somebody like Gene, man, just cranking them out, man, doing amazing work. That kind of relationship is underrated, man. Like, how is it, being able to work with somebody? I always tell people I got two artists that I know I can go to, and they're gonna do the work on time. It's gonna be good, and
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it. That's Kyron Silva, right there,
Kyron's like,
and my man Wally McNair. They have never missed a deadline. They have, it's always been on time. It's always been good, great work.
I'm gonna add Fish Lee to that list because Fish will always drop something quick and good.
I haven't paid. I've Lee Fish Lee is done. He's done a cover for me, which was on time. But I didn't pay him for it. So I can't. So so I can't say that, but I know that when we did do that project for freestyle, man, this dude drew a whole book in 2 days, man. It was crazy. So
Yeah,
this is definitely dope.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
No, you.
that's one of the important things you learn when you're doing this. Because like sometimes you'll read a Marvel or DC comic book and you're like, man, this artist is okay. Why didn't it get somebody better? But then you realize like, man, like you need an artist to be dependable and who's like can bang stuff out. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that's like two hard combos to find. You know what I mean? So it's like once you find that, you just hold on to them. So, and Gian is exactly that because he, like I said, he's really professional. I can't say enough about Gian. Yeah, top notch.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to make that connection with me, man. I added him on Facebook, but I need to get some more information.
Oh, yeah, he's not. So, it's the funny thing about Gian is like he's not really like a social media person. You would think like
I can
as
tell
good
that. I can see.
like as good like he if he had like a Instagram page, I'm telling you, he'd have at least like 100,000 followers, right?
Mhm.
The dude is not like
No,
not like social media, like or he. I guess maybe he just like has no time for it. That's not
It's
his
because
absolutely.
he's
thing.
too busy drawing.
You're too busy drawing and
Yeah, yeah.
putting details in the background. But there's one of my favorite artists, Jamal Campbell,
Oh
who's
yeah,
doing
yeah.
Superman right now. You cannot find him on social media. I don't
Mhm.
care how you reach out to him. I guess you got to find this guy walking down the street or something. Because I've tried to contact him in every way possible, and I can't get a hold of him. So some artists are just like that. Really focused on their crafts, and that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, 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 it is. But yeah, yeah, I'll do the little intro to G, and I have to I have to like reach out to him and be like, yo, Danny's just trying to reach out to you, and then take it from there.
Now, your company name is Dream Fury. What's the significance of that phrase, Dream Fury?
Oh, first I thought it was a dope name. I was like, yeah, and then second, I love the contrast. I love so things that contrast to me like are it's like so dope because I was like, oh, it's like dream. You think like really serene and like peaceful. And then you think fury, feel of fire, and just like passion. So I like that combo because that's exactly what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm trying to accomplish my dream, but there's passion behind it. So that's where the name comes from, Dream Fury.
Okay. And with Keisha and with Crescent City, both of those they're situated in like southeast Louisiana, that area. What's the reason you're picking that region to maybe focus on with your stories?
Oh, so with Crescent City Monsters, originally, so my thinking was like, originally it was a zombie story. Like I was like, oh, I want to do a zombie story.
Okay.
So in essence, that it is a zombie story. Like I don't ever picture it like that, but that's what it's going to be like a zombie story. So
So you did
uh,
the Robert Kirkman thing because when he
oh
told
yeah,
Image, he told Image that Walking Dead was just an alien story instead of being zombie because they rejected it because they didn't want another zombie story. So you're doing that on us, okay?
yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that because I always tell people that like when I tell them the origins of Crescent City Monsters that yeah. I was a big Walking Dead fan, like the comic book. Before even the TV series came out, I
Yeah.
was like, love this comic book. It's one of the comic books that and the funny thing is like I never grabbed a physical issue until like maybe like 2 years ago. All my copies were digital because it was like back in the days when Cosmic uh Comicsology used
Mm.
to have sales and they'll like have these sales like 99 cents for a comic book and I was like, oh yeah. And I like 80% of my books that I bought from Comicsology was like always on sale. They always had sales. And then they had this Walking Dead sale. And I was like, okay, let me read this book. And it blew my mind, man. I was like, you know what? These are the kind of comic books I want to make. And I so like at that time I was like gravitating away from superhero comic books, which is different because when I was younger, I only read superhero comic books. Like anything that wasn't superhero comic books to me is like weird.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not reading anything that don't have superheroes in it. I was like, so like things like Batman, I read Watchmen because they had superheroes, but um things like for Vendetta, I wasn't really a fan of that. Like when they first came out, because that's gonna age me because I was around when they first came out. I was like, what is this? This is so weird. I was like, I wasn't really into it, but now it's kind of flipped. I really don't read that many superhero comic books. I like the non-superhero genres. So so yeah. So it's flipped that way, and I think I was getting a little bit lost. So I'm gonna go back to the Robert Kirkman thing. so, so I was a fan of Walking Dead, and I was like, okay, I want to make my own zombie story because I heard the same story that you had just mentioned. I was like, the cojones is on this dude. I was like, yo, he lied, and both his publisher was like, and at that time, I don't think he had a lot of books under his belt.
No, he'd already done work for Marvel and for a while, and then
Yeah, but he wasn't like the Robert Kirkman that we know like now. Like,
well,
see,
yeah,
so he was kind of like still starting. I was like, damn, that's kind of brave for like a relatively newbie lying to his publisher and saying, yeah. There's gonna be some aliens up in here. You're gonna see it's gonna be great. And then a few issues in, when it's too late to change their mind, you feel like, nah, this is really a zombie story. I know you said zombie books, and they told him specifically like zombie books don't sell, and he's like, and he lied. So I was like, yo, damn, I was like, yo, that's dope. I was like, yo, I was like, I want to make my own zombie book because I was like kind of inspired by Kirkman. But I was like, but I want to do my own spin, and so that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna incorporate more of that voodoo lore to it. So originally the story was gonna start off in Haiti. That's where I'm from, and so as I was like kind of like feeling the story through my head, I realized like, man, I'm the type person like I want to do research and do it right. And so I was like, man, if I did that, it's gonna take me so long. And I was like already like anxious. I wanted to do the comic book real, like I was like, there was this like build up, like, yo, I just like this swell, like like when you need to do something. So I was like, I gotta do this, and I was getting really impatient. So I said, okay, I was like, if I do in Haiti, I'm gonna get I know myself, I'm gonna get lost in this whole research thing. And I was like, so I'm gonna switch to the next best thing, New Orleans. So I was like, because there's historical and some cultural connections to Haiti and New Orleans, and I was like, and New Orleans is known for supernatural things, and I was like, okay, so I was like, okay, cool. The story's gonna start off in New Orleans. So that's the long answer to your question of why New Orleans. And then Keisha just happened to be New Orleans too, because I was like, okay, I wanted to. So she starts off in New Orleans, but ends up in Kansas, and I did that because I was like, what two worlds would be so different? I mean, you can't get any more different than New Orleans and Kansas. Like, so I was like, it's how that hero's journey of like somebody going into a new world thing. So I wanted to kind of like incorporate that into the story. So that's why Keisha started off in New Orleans too.
We might have to talk next time when I finally finish this Ruby from Planet Oz graphic novel. We might have to talk, maybe do like a crossover between Keisha and Ruby, since Ruby's from Kansas.
Yeah.
We'll have to do something.
Okay, that'd be interesting. I like that.
I just gotta
that.
actually sit down and start drawing this damn thing. It's taking me years.
You see how easy it was for Kyron to come up with a crossover for y'all? I've been asking Kyron for 4 days now for an idea to crossover with my characters, and
anyways.
Oh, what?
I don't know what happened. Danny Oh wait, he's back now. What?
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
I mean, your internet must be having issues. You froze earlier, so
yeah, it is. It definitely is. Definitely having issues.
So now we know who's in the control room here, because I was like,
exactly. No, I've always known. I've always known for sure. He does not let me forget. I did want to say real quick, V for Vendetta originally published between 1982 and 1985. Just for people in the crowd to know.
Okay.
Wow.
wanted to throw that out
Fish,
there.
you can Alice Lost in Wonderland can join a crossover also. I mean, honestly, what you're doing, Alice Lost in Wonderland, is almost exactly what I wanted to do in Ruby from Planet Oz, so might as well.
Hidden messages
Seriously.
and all. Man, I see you got an amazing collection of books back there. Are most of those graphic novels? Or are these what kind of books do you got back
Yeah,
there?
some of them are graphic novels, but my graphic novels, this pile here is mostly graphic novels over here. In
Okay.
fact, I'm gonna show this off.
All right. Try to see if I get a bigger picture for him. That might be the
So I just got this in.
Oh,
Oh,
is that the? It is.
Yeah.
The Dennis Cowman.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
So
dope.
I just got this last week, and I just like tore through this book, man, because it's got stories. Some of the stories I've actually heard him say on podcasts, but there's certain things here that I was like, okay, and it kind of gave me a great scope in terms of like the work that Dennis Cowan did, and this was really good. I like this book.
Man, it's oversized too, right, man?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
That's a big book.
Yeah, it's not big as this EC book here.
Ooh.
You have you ever? So I didn't realize it, but when I bought this, so they have Should I take this down? You know what? Let me take that down real quick.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be careful. So,
If he hurts himself, how do we call the ambulance? Bless you.
Hey, we'll figure it out.
yeah.
Good grief.
So, and it's crazy because I bought this on Amazon, and I didn't realize, but this publisher, Taschen, if that's how you pronounce it, right here, Taschen. Now they're known for their big books, but I didn't realize that. So this is the Dennis. Let me see if I could show you the. I don't think it's gonna show,
Good grief.
but this the size difference is crazy. It's like look at this.
Ooh. Wow.
So it's like, and the Dennis Cowan is a pretty big book itself.
Yeah,
that's a workout right there.
Yeah, this one here is like knock you out. And you know what? It's cool, but it's like, damn, this is not practical. It's really hard to read. You gotta
It's like, how am I supposed to hold this thing?
Yeah, you can't like read.
You can't take that into the toilet and read that. I'm sorry.
Nah. It's like, this thing is like a whole.
That's one of those things that if this was a detective novel, that'd be the murder weapon right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I never played Clue, but yeah, that'd be one of the murder weapons.
Oh wow. Well, I appreciate you sharing that.
That was this Dennis Cowan was like my latest pickup, and I thought it was great. Yeah, shout out to Michael Stratford. He's the one who kind of like, I think he's the one who wrote it and put it together and produced the book.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay, so before we get to quick takes, what do you got coming up though? We know Keisha Demon Eater, we know Crescent City Monsters, Shattered Visions. Do you got anything new come up, or are you gonna be working on more from those titles?
Yeah, so definitely more, because everyone keeps asking me like, when's the next chapters are coming out, and I feel bad because it's like the other day I didn't realize like, wow, it's been a couple of years since, actually more than a couple of years since Crescent City Monsters last issue came out. I was like, man, time flies. But yeah, I'm working on that with Crescent City Monsters. Though I'm gonna tell you guys now. So when I started writing, so I have 4 issues, right? Then I have the trade that collects the 4th issue, and then I said, I started working on the 5th issue, and then as I was starting writing it, I was like, man, something feels off, and I kept rewriting and restarting the story, and I realized what it was. It was like I needed to go back. So like, if you remember, issue 1 starts off in like 1960s, right? And then it does a time forward to near present day, right? And so like issue 1, 1960s, and issue 2, like I think a little after Katrina, which is 2010 or something, or maybe.
2009.
Yeah, so so it's around that time. So then what I decided to do is I'm going to go back and fill in that gap between issues 1 and 2.
Oh,
And
nice.
so yeah, it's gonna be really dope. You guys are gonna love the story, and if you guys are familiar with the story, there's a character called Kingsley, right? And he's
Mm-hmm.
so it's and from issues 1 to 2, like Kingsley's not in issue 1, but he's in this issue 2, and then going forward, he's like a really major character, and so it's gonna show you the rise of Kingsley. So it's gonna explain what happens in between issues 1 and 2, because that time jump, there's a lot that happens that I don't really explain, and I was a little nervous that the readers are gonna be like, "Damn, what happened?" And but everybody kind of just like I guess trusted me and telling them the story, and nobody was like, "Yo, what the hell?" And nobody complained. So I'm gonna go back and fill in that gap, the gap between issues 1 and 2, and it's gonna be this whole story arc of it's gonna be called the Rise of Kingsley. It's gonna explain like how he got into the
Nice.
position he is, and it also gives me an opportunity to show a little bit more of Jonas in the 1950s, because I should say 1960s, because um, I realized like a lot of people kind of like where it started off on issue 1, because they had the impression like, oh, this is going to take place in the past, and it's gonna be cool. So I want to go back and show folks how Jonas was back then and his relationship with everybody else, like because you have the monsters of Crescent City monsters, right? It's gonna show you his relationship before everything happened, and then yeah, it's gonna be dope. I'm really excited about it. Keisha, gonna do the next thing. There's gonna be a few things revealed with that too. Um, Shattered Visions, yeah, we have a few surprises with that too. So I'm excited about all 3 titles, but the new thing that I'm working on is something really new. It's like a new genre. So like Crescent City Monsters, Keisha Demon Eaters, Supernatural, uh, Shattered Visions is sci-fi, cyberpunk, right? So this
Mm-hmm.
new book is called Sequential Love, and it's a slice of life book. So it's going to feature,
Oh wow.
yeah. Um, so the interesting thing is, I realized like it's a lot harder for me to write sequential, no, that's to write slice of life books, because when you're writing like a horror or sci-fi, you can do a whole bunch of action and like make things go, the plot, and it's like boom, a lot of conflict. But with slice of life is different. You can't throw in monsters or thing to
You're right.
keep people engaged. So I was like, wow, I actually have to put in a lot.
You got to do it with
Yeah.
drama. You got to do
You
it
gotta
with
find
drama.
other ways to
Yeah.
get them hooked onto what you're doing.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so it's like I was like, wow, okay, this is a real test right here. so I was like,
Okay.
and so I wrote out the first chapter. It's about a comic book creator. He meets a cosplayer and he falls in love with her, right?
Oh,
And they
Mhm.
end up like trying to save fandom from AI. So that's the story itself. So it's
It's an autobiography.
no, it's not
You
hard. But if
just
my wife heard that, she's like, "Who?"
oh no,
oh no, I mean
no.
not a, it's based on somebody else's
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Dang it.
It's just a biography.
Newton's wife's gonna hear this. She's like, I'm going to every convention with you from now
Yeah,
on.
yeah. I want to see who this
Yeah.
cosplayer is.
I'm going
Who
to
you
San
talking
Diego
to?
with you. Nah, we don't want no trouble from Miss
Yeah,
Newton. We don't want none of that at all.
yeah, so-
But okay, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see that, man. My daughter, my middle daughter, she's got me into some different kinds of anime and stuff, and slice of life is big in anime. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, let's do quick takes. Kyron, when you're ready.
Actually, I'm not ready, but I won't do it anyways. See, I told you I wasn't ready. Hold on. I
You had it,
know,
man.
no,
I knew
it still didn't pop up for me. I needed the extra time, but I couldn't do it. That's just whatever.
Terrible,
All right.
terrible. All right. So, if you've never if you've never seen Quick Takes before, Quick Takes is a rapid Q&A session where we grill our guests on their deepest, darkest secrets from the internet. So basically, I stalked your pages online, and I found all of your secrets. No, I'm just playing. We're just gonna ask you a couple questions to get to know you a little bit better. There might be one though. There might be one question that might get you into some trouble. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Always starting issues, dude.
All right. So, let me see. Question number one. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Indie crossovers, man. There's been a lot of talk about crossovers in the indie space. What do you think about indie crossovers? And is there anybody or any creators that you would like to see crossover?
Oh yeah, I think crossovers are a good idea. And as far as like crossovers that I would like to see done, you mean with my characters or just in general?
Either or.
Man, that's a good question. Um,
I could see Isnana and Keisha in the same place. I could kind of see
yeah,
that.
we
You should eat them though.
Well, we were supposed to, yeah, they probably like, I'm done.
You only got 10 seconds. Come on.
Let's see. Yeah, Greg and I almost did a crossover, but the timing didn't work out. But I did a crossover with Keith,
Keith?
no, Keith, Keith Cross.
Oh yeah, Keith Cross. Gotcha. Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. I can't. I don't even know what crossovers that would be.
Hey, that's all right.
Blame
That's
Danny.
all right. All right. Question number 2. Yeah, we put you on the spot. The timer always gets people. So, question number 2. You've been to a couple shows, man. And this is a question that we ask a lot of creators because, sometimes we prefer big crowds. Sometimes we prefer the little more intimate. So, what do you prefer when you go to a comic book convention? Do you prefer big cons or do you prefer, small shows, and why?
It's just for financial reasons, I prefer big cons. Because nowadays, like in the beginning, a con used to be like, yeah, you're like, hey, I'm going to a con, but now it's more like, it's like, okay, I'm gotten to the point where like, I only want to go to con if I know I'm gonna make money. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like
I'm getting there.
I've done enough cons where it's like it's cool. I love meeting people, but at the same time, it's like, man, okay, I've done this like a few times now. It's like I need to focus really on making sure that I make money, and usually big cons does that for you. And big cons, you get to meet more people. It's like, and, with smaller cons, I guess it's more intimate, but nah, with big cons, you you just get to meet more people. So, and you can be as intimate with people at big cons than as you can be in small cons. So I just prefer big cons.
I'm getting there too. I used to be a small cons guy, but I'm getting to big cons. All right, question number 3. Back in the day, we did a indie comics collection challenge that we all kind of took part in, and your collection was one of the biggest ones that I'd seen. You had all the books from indies, and I want to know, I got a couple of indie books that are like really like gems. Like I got the first printing of Purge over here. I got Brother Man over here. I got Assassinistas, which people don't even know about. So I want you to tell me from your indie comic collection, what are some of your indie comic book gems that you have in your collection that you think might be super rare?
Oh, man. So I told you earlier I was a fan of what's his name? The guy who did Tribe.
There's
Larry
Strowman.
Strowman. Yeah. I've got a what do you call it? Ash can version of the Tribe.
Oh,
And Yeah,
Oh
to
wow,
me, I was like, to me, that's my thing. I'm like, yo, this is like the most valuable
that's dope.
thing in
Yeah,
my indie collection. So I would have to go with that. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, that's dope. I got to meet Mr. Stroman at a show in Virginia last year, and got him to sign a piece for me, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been him a
But
couple of
that's
times,
a good.
but you know what's weird is like I never really get like what do you call yeah,
Starstruck.
starstruck. But for some reason, whenever that dude's around, I'm like, hey, Mr. Stroman. You know, it's like,
Hey, Mr. Stroman, how you
yeah,
doing
I
today?
don't really. But he's such a down to earth guy. I don't even know why I'm like that. He's real cool. Like,
Yeah,
but shout out
yeah, he's always been real cool.
his partner Johnson.
Yeah,
Todd Johnson.
Tom Johnson. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's super.
We had them on the show
Oh,
We did.
too, man. They're cool guys,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
All right, question number 4, and this is the one that might get you in a little trouble, okay?
Mhm.
But I think you'll do fine. So, back in 2015, you posted a picture online of a book that you had read by this guy named Elon Musk. All right, it was Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the quest for a fantastic future.
Yeah.
And you said, and your comment was, "This dude is good book. This dude is crazy, but I wish him much success."
Yeah.
Since then, he's going to take over the world. I feel like it's your fault because you wished him success. So, tell me in 45 seconds, what have you seen as the difference between Elon Musk in 2015 versus 2025?
I think once you reach a certain level, like the world becomes, you view the world differently, right? Like people like Jeff Bezos, powerful people with a lot of money. Once you get so much money, it's like you feel like you could shake the world, and that you're not like regular rules don't apply to you. So I think like he's changed because of that, because he's starting these crazy companies. Like he succeeded at SpaceX. Right now we're sending people out in space in these shuttles that reusable shuttles, right? So I think he's gotten to the
Mm-hmm.
point where he's just got, it's just like he's like gone Kanye, and he's just gotten over his head, like his position, his power. I don't necessarily think, I mean, the basis of who he was probably still the same, because I don't think people change much. But when you put them in certain situations, it like amplifies, their things. And so I think that's what happened with him. But I'm not taking credit for his success at all.
I'm putting it on you, man. I'm putting it on you. But all right. All right, I'll leave it with that. I'll leave it with that. All right, so for question number 5, we always have our guests do a top 5 list. Because of my other show, Top 5 Live, that I do with Morgan Iverson, Javon Stokes, which came back this week. We had our first
Congrats on
episode
that.
in a few months. This last week. Thank you. But for you, we had the discussion online about this show called Martin. It's a great sitcom. It's one of the best black sitcoms. So I know Martin is going to be on this list for you. I hope it is, at least. But I want to know, in your opinion, what are the top 5 black sitcoms?
Oh, okay. Man, okay, so I gotta go with the George Jefferson, right? So I want to throw something from back then. You know what I mean?
Okay, the Jeffersons.
I love, like, George was just outrageous. I love that too. Funny dude, and the way him and Florence used to go back and forth. So, the Jeffersons, you got to put in the Cosbys. Girlfriends considered a comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sitcom.
Yeah, I like Girlfriends. So how many is that? That's 3.
3.
That's 3.
10 seconds.
I'm definitely Martin, because I think there's a lot of people who take after Martin in terms of his comedy. Like I think Will Smith is one of them, because sometimes the way Will Smith acts is pretty similar to Martin. And then we got one more, right?
Yep.
Oh man, I want to say In Living Single.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that.
Living Single.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Friends owes their success, I think, to Living Single.
Yeah.
So that's a solid list. A couple I wasn't expecting, but
Jefferson's probably.
Yeah, that was out of left field, right? That one.
That's
a good one, though.
But the Jeffersons,
Jefferson
it was a really good show.
It's classic, man. The dude used to just jump on Mr. Bentley's back. I mean,
Yeah. And I think Martin borrowed a lot from, got a lot from the Jeffersons, like you said, with George and Wheezy, going back and forth. I think some of the more modern ones got a lot from like Jefferson's and Sanford and Son, another one that was a classic.
Yeah.
But cool. Thank you for doing that for us, Newton. This week, Quick Takes has been brought to you by Gemini Comic Supply. Right now, if you go to Gemini Comic Supply and use the promo code ACEBLADE, you get 10% off your entire order.
Bro, we've been doing this for how many months? How many?
Shut up, man.
How many months? And you forget our one sponsor. One sponsor.
Leave me alone, man. Leave me alone. Okay. Back to you, Kyron.
Newton, this has been fun. We appreciate you being on and sharing your story with us. But we want to make sure our fans and our listeners follow you. So where's the best place online for people to check you out and maybe keep up with your work?
Yeah, so you can catch me on all socials at right there, Dream Fury Comics. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Even though I'm not on Facebook anymore. Well, I'm still on it, but I only go in maybe every other week. I check to see if somebody left me messages. The best place to really hit me now is Instagram. I'm barely on X, and thanks to you guys. In fact, I almost forgot to mention that I'm big on TikTok now. I mean, big as in providing content, because one thing I gotta say before I leave is like I said, thanks to you guys, I realized that TikTok for real is the best place for comic book creators right now. If you want to push your things and if you want to sell your books, because right now TikTok is pushing my books and I'm not paying ads, and they still sending people to my shop, just as long as you provide them some TikTok quality thing. Yeah. And I should have listened to Danny, because Danny told me, it was the first person. He's like, yo, you gotta get on TikTok. He's like, yo, open up your shop. And I think you had the idea of saying, hey, let's sell each other books or something like that. I forgot what it was. But at the time I was like, TikTok, I don't know about TikTok. But I should have listened though. I should have listened, because
I mean, but you on there. I've been seeing your stuff, man, and you get consistent sales on there, man. TikTok has been. I just posted today.
You post 10 times a day. Don't say I just posted.
I mean, no, I posted on Instagram that I just sold my 575th issue of Ace Blade #1 on TikTok.
Congratulations, man.
Which is great. Which is crazy, man. So I encourage everybody, man. It's not too late. Get on there and start making some content. It's still doing good for me. So I always tell people, man, if you want to sell some books, if you can make content, I know everybody can't get in front of the camera and make content, but if you can do it, you do great, Kyron. Shut up. If you can do it, I encourage people to get on TikTok for sure, man. But yeah, thank you for coming on, man. This was great.
Thanks Danny. For having me. I definitely want to be on later.
Okay. Danny, where can people check you
out? Best place to find me is our website, fourthwallpros.com. And if you want to find me on social media, it's at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms. Kyron, where can people find you?
You can find me at tauruscomics.com. I am on all social media platforms at Taurus Comics. And if this is your first time checking out our podcast, you can go to our website. That is thefourtailspodcast.com. That is the number 4, TALES podcast.com. You can listen to our previous episodes. You can buy some merchandise, which no one ever has. But hey, if you want to, you can buy it. Join us next week, where I have no idea who we are going to have on the show because I don't have a guest lined up. Our guest backed out at the last moment, but I'm scrambling. I have somebody in the works, so we'll see if they show up. But if not, we will be here, and hopefully we figure out this YouTube situation and why it didn't go live everywhere.
Hey, if you guys need me to, I'll come again next week.
Hey, okay,
all right. We gotta get Newton on the IT. We gotta get him to figure out why our internet, our YouTube wasn't working. And then all right.
Anyways, we thank you guys for being part of this and joining the stream. But until next time, everybody, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.